There are very few people in the world who can operate as a jack of all trades. Oftentimes, when one walks around as a jack of all trades, they're subjected to being known as a master of none. Any of us would be lucky to have a talent like comedy, music, singing, or dancing. But to find someone who is great at all of them is a rarity. Artists like Jamie Foxx and Donald Glover have found both success in comedy and music. In addition to those two, Eddie Murphy has also proved himself as one of the most versatile performers ever, with a career that contains stand-up, acting, and singing. I never felt like I was forging a path. I was just being who I was. Whatever blew my way, I adapted to it. According to Murphy, music has always been a gift and to some, a hidden talent. While Murphy has always been writing songs at a very young age, his television and movies have always overshadowed his music. Here's why Eddie Murphy stopped making music. Making music is in Eddie Murphy's blood, and even compared to a stand-up in a 1993 interview with the Baltimore Sun. Murphy said in an interview, 100 years from now, when I'm gone, they'll find all these tracks and they'll be like, wow, we didn't even know this guy. We had no idea. As a vocalist, Murphy got his professional start singing background for artists including the Busboys. Murphy's self-titled comedy album was released in 1982 and featured the song Boogie in Your Butt. The song was nominated for Best R&B Instrumental Performance at the 1983 Grammy Awards. While the track peaked on the R&B charts at number 86, it didn't get there without criticism. The gay community, Asian American groups, and some women weren't too fond of the lyrical content. This may come as no surprise because Murphy was known for raw comedy that often poked fun at the LGBTQ community at the time. He has recently expressed remorse for what is considered insensitive, dehumanizing remarks. In 1985, Murphy decided to jump into his music full-time by releasing his first musical album. The album was called How Could It Be, and it contained mostly original music. The album was released between Beverly Hills Cop and its sequel, a time where Eddie Murphy was the #1 guy in town. He took a chance on his music debut, saying he had no expectations for his music, and that's what made it cool. When I did my first record, I remember one of the things that a critic said was that I didn't really sing, that I did like impressions. So you can't take my voice seriously, because I could just be doing an impression. I thought that was the weirdest thing I had ever heard. Murphy's impeccable impressions made it easier for him to incorporate music into his comedy, as we saw back during his time on Saturday Night Live as a regular. Although the album sold well, critics weren't impressed with Eddie Murphy the musician. Some thought Eddie's debut album lacked material, and other critics said that Murphy's voice sounded thin and lacked control. But the bad reviews didn't faze Eddie one bit. I have a real versatile voice. I do so many different things with my voice all the time. I'm always doing some weird stuff with my voice, so I guess I've got pretty strong vocal cords. Plus, I've been writing since I was 19 years old. So from being a writer and having the control over my voice that I have, and then having my own personal thing that I want to say and do musically, I can go in any direction and grab anyone's vibe. The lead single on How Could It Be was Party All the Time, produced by Rick James. The song peaked at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100. It reached number 87 in the United Kingdom and broke the top 10 in Canada, Germany, and New Zealand. The song also took a spot on the R&B hip-hop charts at number 8. The song, despite its sound, is not at all a party song. It is a love song about a girlfriend who is stuck on partying and not taking their relationship seriously. To this day, it can be heard on the radio and even video games, namely Grand Theft Auto 5. Murphy would return to music 4 years after his official debut to release So Happy in 1989. Put Your Mouth on Me was the lead single and hit number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. Murphy's third music album would get released in 1993, and it was called Love's Alright. The album featured the likes of Shabba Ranks and Michael Jackson, and even contained great vocals from Heavy D, Janet Jackson, Luther Vandross, MC Hammer, Patti LaBelle, Stevie Wonder, and more. Despite the all-star guest list, the album was a critical and commercial failure, peaking at number 80 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart. Its single, What's Up With You, featured Murphy and Michael Jackson. Michael had just come off the release of a successful album, Dangerous, which included the single, Remember the Time. Murphy would have a cameo in the music video for the song. But unfortunately, What's Up With You didn't have the same impact as Remember the Time, and the lead single from Murphy's album would largely go unremembered. Murphy responded to the criticism by saying, "There's not a lot of people who have footage of themselves dancing around in the clouds with Michael Jackson. I do have that forever." Murphy didn't release any additional full-length studio albums after Love's Alright, But he never lost his burning passion for music. He would go on to say, "If I never sell another record, I'll still write 2 or 3 songs a week." In 2013, despite what was largely assumed, it was discovered that Murphy never stopped making music. He actually just stopped releasing it. That year, he would come back from his music hiatus to release a reggae tune featuring Snoop Dogg called Red Light. By the year 2016, he had 3 entries on the digital song charts and a top 30 hit on the adult R&B songs with Promise, You Won't Break My Heart. The father of 10 said, "Whatever muscle I used to be funny, I have a muscle to do music, and I use them both all the time. I've never stopped doing music." There have been talks that Murphy is in the process of recording another album titled 9. At this time, there is no word on the significance of the album's title or what the sound would be. When it comes to being an artist, Eddie said he can't be boxed in. "I've sang my whole life. I've been singing for years and years. I don't think of myself as a singer. I'm an artist, and I enjoy doing a bunch of different types of things. I wouldn't say that I'm a singer or an actor or that I'm even a comedian. I'm an artist. I just do a bunch of different stuff." What is known is that Eddie Murphy is an incredible influence and has paved the way for generations of multi-talented comedians who operate as dual threats on the microphone.